Hello, namaste. Well, I'm going to do a second part to the Leo Gura. Because the first part was what he found in his life. But what he found may not always work for others, okay? Just because it's something that works in your own life, it may aid others and may not. Okay, so let's look and see what we have in this second part of the reading. So this is about, what he's there, the cups he's got, the rainbows, the things he's wanting to give. Is it effective or not? Well, you see that it used to be that he was, guarding what it was that he had gotten. But then underneath the foundation is he thought it was really something bright, something star, something that could give others hope, a way for others to proceed forward, And while he, above it, he got it from the universe, from his observations of himself, it's a bit skewed. Okay? It's not a pure understanding. It's a bit skewed. On the other hand, it put an end to some cycles for him, put an end to it, made a way forward. But, we'll look at this. When it was a bit skewed, he took the information that he had and he thought it was a good way forward. So he put the energy out there, and wanted to develop it for others. Now, when we come down here, as far as what he thought was a great star, a great light, a great thing, and it was, for him, it was a strong thing, but it's strength that's kind of skewed. It's not a gentle strength, and for others, it could cause some bondage,
Unknown caller.
It could cause some bondage for some others, cause them to get caught in thoughts. But for him, he thought it was a way of balance, a way of justice. It may not be that for everyone. It might be that strength of what he's saying might be a little harsh for some people and might actually get them more caught up in drama than less drama. Okay? So it's not a way forward for everyone. Now when we come to the other part over here about his, what ended something for him, if we look at it, we see that it will bring judgment for others. People have to judge it. And, because it's about, when these things, everything is really shaken up. And while it brought sun for him, it might not do that for everyone. It might kind of turn it on the ear for some. It's upended. It's not always, this bright thing that's going to aid everyone. He saw it as a way forward. He sees it as a beneficial thing. But again, when it comes for transformation in others' lives and he wants to present that cup, he wants to give that, for others it could actually hang them up. It could, keep them kind of stuck, or, if they can deal with that type of philosophy, it can give them a way to see from a different perspective. But again, this depends on the individual. What's good for one is not good for another. For some, it could bring balance. For others, that they would have a difficult time in finding balance within that. within that philosophical stance that he's got. So again, it's not something that one can say, oh yeah, this is great, and it's not something to say it's horrible. For some, it might have some benefit, but for others, it could feel like they're getting hung up, they're in more mental drama, and they're not finding their balance. So again, just because something has been beneficial in his life, and the philosophy works for him, for some people it might be very off-putting, okay? And it might not work with their psyche, with their thing. Because I understand it's his thing is kind of like everybody's responsible for whatever takes place. You know, it might be a radical, you know, a bit of a radical thing for some people to hear. It, again, might not work for some. It might shake them up, but it might not, you know, it might hang them up, you know. For some, it might bring some light. For some, it might, you know, it cause them to be in a little more, a little less balance. So again, you know, in these types of things, you just have to look and see what works for you. You know, again, these things do not work for everyone. What can be liberating to some can be really binding for others. So again, it's something that one has to look at and judge for themselves. Again, people have the same exact experience. You can live in a household. You can have basically the same experiences. One person will find it liberating, and another person it'll just drive them crazy, and they will feel like they're just being absolutely tied up. So not every practice or every path or every dynamic works for everyone, okay? So in this case, you can't say, you know, oh, it's a cult. You can't say it's, you know, you can't say it's going to work for everyone. It worked for him to some degree, but it's harsh for others. For some people, it's just very harsh, and it's not a philosophy or a way that would aid them to go forward. It might cause some people more confusion and more imbalance. For some, they might find balance, okay? So again, there's not always a clear-cut answer for these types of things, okay? Because there are so many different personalities, so many different ways of viewing. Everybody's had different experiences in life. And again, for some people's life experiences, it might aid them to have some breakthroughs. But for others, no, it might just occlude things even further for them. So I'm going to leave this here. Hopefully that's given more for people to think about, okay? So hope you're having a wonderful evening. Namaste. Thank you for tuning in. And God within me recognizes God within you. Have a wonderful evening.